Thank you for joining me for this class back up here on the rooftop. This class is going to be built around stability with a bit of focus on the feet and the ankles. So finding stability through the ankles, strengthening the feet. We're going to go ahead and get warmed up with a vinyasa. So we're going to start standing. So maybe just rooting down through the feet to start with. If we take the shoulders over the hips, over the ankles, and maybe just turning the palms to face forwards, finding our standing mountain pose. With a big inhale, we're going to sweep the arms up overhead, lifting the chest, maybe lifting the chin at the very top. As we exhale, we're going to fold forwards, taking the hands to the shins, lifting the chest halfway, exhaling, planting the hands, stepping the feet back to plank, taking a deep inhale in here. As we exhale, we're going to take the chest forwards and down, and then with the inhale, lifting, untucking the toes, finding our upward facing dog, exhaling, sending the hips all the way back and up into our downward facing dog, and taking any little pedals and shuffles here to make it feel like the most possible version of your downward facing dog. Breathing in deeply and exhaling fully. From here, as we inhale, we're going to lift the left foot all the way up to the ceiling, exhaling, drawing the left foot forwards. We're going to land it in between the hands or thereabouts, rooting down through the feet. With the inhale, we're going to lift, finding our way up into our high lunge, lifting the chest, reaching through the fingers. And from here, we've got the option to lift up onto the very tiptoes of the left foot. If it feels a little bit more comfortable, we can always draw that left foot back a little bit. But if we lift the heel, finding all the little wobbles, as we exhale, we're going to take a forward fold. And as we inhale, lifting the arms all the way back up. Exhaling, sweeping the arms forwards. And then as we inhale, lifting the arms high. Exhaling forwards, inhaling, reaching back up, and then taking one final round with the exhale, folding forwards, inhaling, reaching up high. We're going to land the sole of the left foot, breathing in, pressing the chest forwards and up, and then as we exhale, we're going to step the right foot all the way up forwards so that we're standing on our left leg with the right foot lifted. Breathing in deeply. From here, we've got the option to stay right here. We can always take the hands to the hips, but we're strengthening that standing leg and all the muscles through the right hip flexor. If it feels comfortable, maybe think about taking the peace fingers around the big toes on the right foot. And as we inhale, we're going to see about extending the right leg long. So if we lift the chest as well as the foot, we can always bend into the standing leg, breathing in deeply, exhaling fully. And then from here, we're going to release the standing leg, keeping it lifted, but finding that bend at the knee, taking the left hand just outside of the right knee, finding a big twist at the waist, inhaling, sweeping the right arm back, and checking in with the right ankle. So maybe taking a little roll of the ankle, making sure we're not holding on to too much tension there. Taking one last really deep inhale here. And then as we exhale, we're going to turn back through the front, reaching the arms high, landing the right foot down. As we exhale, we're going to fold forwards, bending the knees, landing the hands, and stepping back to plank. Taking a deep breath at the very top. As we exhale, we're going to take the chest forwards and down. And as we inhale, lifting to our upward facing dog. With the exhale, sending the hips all the way back and up into our downward facing dog. And once again, finding any little pedals or shuffles that make it all feel a little bit more possible. And from here, we're going to sweep the right foot all the way up. Exhaling, landing the right foot forwards in between the hands. And then when everything's feeling a little bit more steady, we're going to lift back up into our high lunge, lifting the chest and reaching through the fingers, drawing a deep inhale in through the nose. And from here, we've got that option to come up onto the tiptoes of the right foot. Once again, we can always draw that right foot a little bit closer if that makes it feel that little bit more possible. And as we exhale, we're going to sweep the arms forwards and down. Inhaling, drawing them all the way back up to the top. As we exhale, we're going to forward fold. And as we inhale, rolling through the shoulders, lifting the arms. Exhaling forwards. Inhaling, lifting. We're going to take 2 more. So as we exhale, we're going to forward fold. And as we inhale, lifting up to the top. Exhaling, inhaling, finding that lift. And from here, we're going to land the sole of the right foot. And we're going for the big step through. So with a big exhale, drawing the left foot all the way from the back to the front, finding stability through the standing leg. And maybe taking the hands to the hips. And once again, we get to stay right here. Strengthening the standing leg and all those muscles through the left quads and hip flexors. The second option is going to be to take the peace fingers of the left hand around the big toes of the left foot, and maybe staying here, or maybe as we inhale, extending the left leg long, pressing through the left heel. So we can always keep a bend at the knee, or maybe pressing the heel forwards, finding that big release all through the back of the left leg. Taking one last really deep inhale wherever you find yourself. As we exhale, we're going to keep the foot lifted, but we're going to take that bend back to the knee, finding the balance, and maybe seeing about taking the right hand to the outside edge of the left knee, finding that big twist to the left at the waist, and maybe with a big inhale, sweeping the left arm back, rooting down through the right foot, finding that big twist at the waist. We're just going to stay for one more really deep inhale here. As we exhale, turning back to the front, we're going to reach the arms high, landing the foot, lifting the chest, exhaling, folding forwards, bending the knees and resting the chest on the tops of the thighs. So maybe tucking the chin. We can always take hold of either elbow with a hand and find a little sway from side to side, allowing everything through the legs and the back to slowly start to soften. And then when it all feels a little bit more possible, we're going to see about landing the fingertips and sinking the hips all the way down to the heels. And from here, it really helps if you've got some blocks. These are going to give us a little bit of support as we move through some toe standing poses. So if you do have some blocks, we're just going to start by taking a block either side of the hips. Finding a place where you can lift the chest. So we've got the shoulders over the hips, over the ankles once more. And when it all feels a little bit more balanced, we can see about taking the palms to prayer. And if you press the palms into one another, sometimes that makes it feel a little bit more stable. From here, when you're ready, we're going to see about taking the right elbow over to the outside edge of the left knee, finding that twist at the waist, and as you exhale, rolling the left shoulder back and allowing the twist to deepen. Taking one last really deep inhale here. And then as we exhale, we're going to release the right elbow, taking the hands back to the blocks. And from here, we've got the option to place a block just under the right heel. So that's going to make it all feel a little bit more stable. We're going to see about lifting the left foot. And if we take the peace fingers around the left toe once more, we're going to extend it long. And we've got the block under the right hand just for that extra little bit of stability. Pressing through the left heel once more, just like we did in our standing balance. We're going to stay for one last really deep inhale here. And then as we exhale, taking the left toes back down towards the floor, we're going to take it all over to the other side. So finding yourself back in center, taking that block back to the left. We're going to take the palms to prayer, rolling the shoulders back, breathing in here. As we exhale, we're going to take the left elbow this time just over and outside of the right knee, finding that big twist at the waist. And with every exhale, rolling the right shoulder back, allowing the twist to deepen. Staying here for one more really deep inhale. And then as we exhale, releasing the left elbow, taking the hands back to the blocks, finding that balance at the center. And from here, we're going to take the block on the right and just place it under our left heel. That's going to give us that little bit of stability. Taking the other block just under the left hand so that you can find the balance. We're going to lift the right toes, wrapping the peace fingers of the right hand around the big toe, pressing the right heel forwards, lifting the chest, breathing in deeply, squeezing the right quads, finding the balance here. And then as we exhale, we're going to release the right foot down, taking the blocks just out of the way. And if we take the hands down in front, we're going to step the feet back, breathing in deeply. As we exhale, we're going to lower the chest all the way down to the floor, untucking the toes, lifting the chest, upward facing dog. And from here, as we exhale, we're going to send the hips all the way back into our child's pose.